What's up, guys? It's been a while. I'm gonna film a few videos today. As I said on Instagram, they're going to be slightly shorter videos, so it'll just give a few weeks sort of breathing room for getting things done on the channel and sort of get a few things in place. One thing I want to do in future is look at getting an editor on board, or down the line, get a little studio, ideally with a little garage to keep race cars in. So that's something I'm going to look at. But for now, we are in my kitchen. I have Velcroed blackout blinds to the wall, and this is what we're dealing with. So that's sort of where we're at. It has been a wild few months. There is a lot to cover. There's a lot to go through. So I'm going to break it down into smaller videos. The first one is going to be sort of talking about what's been going on, and what's going on with me, what's going on with where I've been. So last year I got COVID, which sort of messed up a load of plans, a load of things I was really looking forward to. And from that, I sort of had a little bit of a mental funk going on. So sort of diet went out the window, training went out the window. Annoyingly, climbing went out the window, which is, really stupid, because climbing's one of the things I love. It's one of the things that keeps me happy, keeps me sane, it keeps me in a good sort of mental space. So to be depressed and then not want to do the thing that makes me feel better sort of just leads to things getting worse and worse. But this year, the past couple of months, I've sort of started to get my shit together a little bit. I've been climbing regularly indoors at the climbing hangar in Sheffield. It's one of the best sort of set places around, especially for bouldering. Everyone who climbs there climbs outside, so a lot of the moves, a lot of the problems are sort of have parallels to outside stuff. They've also got, fancy, modern, jumpy, slappy, spinny bouldering, but if you, find the right problems, you can sort of replicate climbing outside quite nicely. So that's how I've been ticking over. And then this last week, I travelled to North Wales, to a little town called Bontnewedd, which is a beautiful place, sort of in between Snowdon and the coast. I was super fortunate to hang out with a couple of friends I've known for a few years. Ant and Rowney. Rowney is a, next level jeweler and silversmith, and Ant is a film writer. So, it's getting to spend time with some really cool people in one of the most beautiful places in the world, in my opinion. We explored some valleys sort of around the national park, on the edge of the national park, and got my first sort of route done in maybe 5 months. What we did was climb a blondin, which is a winding tower from the old quarries. So it's a man-made building, but beautiful slabby rock, really sort of easy climbing, but a little bit iffy to climb. I followed it, so Ant led it. But it's a lot of loose rock, a lot of friable rock, a lot of stuff sort of broken. Slate is either super solid or super brittle, so that was sort of the exploration side of stuff, and it really reignited that fire for climbing and moving on rock, even though it's man-made. The main point of going away, though, was to be in a part of the world where I can get my phone out and it says no signal or no service. So I had a couple of days of, really switching off and sort of reassessing where I want to be in life, in my career, and what I want to be doing. So I'm going to sort of briefly chat about that. Like I said, these videos are going to be shorter, but I want to do more of them. So it's going to be a bit of a whistle-stop tour of what's going on. So a couple of the decisions I made were, unsurprisingly, I absolutely fucking love my job. I in my eyes, I have the best job in the world. I'm super fortunate to be able to do that job. The people I get to know, the people I get to be around, it is insane. As someone who is a fan of strongman, sort of really realizing that, this year I've got a couple of guys competing at World's Strongest Man again, which is, wild to be able to say. I'm looking forward to heading out to Sacramento this year for World's Strongest Man. And just, I've got a lot of people competing, a lot of competitions coming up. Some of the strong women have got like a really hectic calendar coming up. So it's just, this trip to Wales gave me that last little bit of breathing room before a fairly manic couple of months. But it was amazing to get to be there, and really nice to realise that I love what I'm doing as well. Because, like I say, it's the best job in the world, and some people think I'm pretty good at it. Some people think I'm the worst thing that's ever happened to strongman, but the people I coach keep winning, so I'm sort of all right with those people maybe thinking I'm a bit of an asshole. So that's sort of it with the career side of stuff, except down the line, be looking at increasing one-on-one sessions out of Unit 16. Shiv is doing an incredible job of sort of running the gym. It's sort of something she's really taken on under her wing, offering classes to like total beginners, women's only classes and things like that. So it's such a really cool space to have. And I've sort of started enjoying training again, which, sounds really weird for someone so involved in the sport, but if I don't enjoy doing something, I tend not to do it, which maybe isn't the best approach to things, but it means, I get to have a pretty cool life. So looking forward to getting some consistency back into training, committing to, a few days a week, as well as committing to going climbing more often. So sort of movement will be up, which is going to be really cool. Really just enjoyable to get less fat, which sort of leads nicely onto the next point of my relationship with food has always been, if I'm depressed, I want to eat more, and what I want to eat is, a lot of food and a lot of shit food. So through that and through, trying to get out of this mental funk a little bit, I realised that, if I'm depressed and want to eat shit food all the time, maybe, the best option is to commit to eating better food, and that will, sort of kick that mental funk off and take a bit of the stress out of it. So again, through my job and through the people I'm fortunate enough to know, I'm going to be working with Nathan Payton, pro body coach, I can make an hour-long video listing all the people who's helped do amazing things, and I'm super grateful and super fortunate that he's going to help me as well, which is amazing. I'm really looking forward to how things can go. I've been sort of following his plan for 4 days, so 4 or 5 days. A few of those days were whilst I was away in Wales, and it was really easy to stick to the plan, and like 2 kilos down so far in a few days. So it's just nice to see the scale moving again, and it's nice to start feeling good, feel really fueled, and feel healthier, because I'm eating a huge variety of food, a huge variety of things, but just portion control and having that accountability to be able to rely on someone else a little bit, and have someone who can make sure that what I'm doing is the right thing, rather than, I tend to be someone who trends towards extremes, so I'll either eat way too much or just stop eating for a while. So having that sort of someone else in control is going to be massive, and I'm super grateful for the opportunity to get his help. So, it's another thing where whilst I was sat by a little llyn in Wales, I realised that, I've got this opportunity to work with one of the best nutritionists in the world, and it just made me feel really grateful for the situations I'm in, the situations I get to, be involved in. Next week, I will be heading up to Scotland. I think I'm heading up for, the majority of the training week, and sort of make sure we're all on the same page ahead of World's Strongest Man and ahead of where we want to be going and what we want to be doing. So that's something I'm excited for. It's going to be weird. It's sort of stressful because it's work. We're coming up to World's Strongest Man. There's a lot of pressure on everything we're doing, but Scotland and the Highlands are absolutely stunning. So to have the opportunity to go there and that be my job is, another amazing thing that I'm really grateful for, and grateful for the opportunity to be able to do. A couple of weeks ago, as people may have seen on Instagram, I took part in my first car race, motor racing, with the 750 Motor Club. In all honesty, I was quite shit. Wasn't competitive. The car's underpowered. There's a few setup things to make, a few more parts that are needed. But I'm going to do sort of a proper video breaking that down. But sort of moving forward from there, I have to miss a few rounds due to travel for World's Strongest Man, various competitions, England's Strongest Woman, and things like that. So this year is purely about getting signatures. So I'll be doing, picking and choosing races I want to do, and hopefully building that confidence in myself and in the car, that next year I can sort of push and be a bit more competitive. But I will, be filming a video sort of breaking down that first race, everything that went on, and a lap of Croft from the in-car camera, which has been, carefully found to be the least shit of the laps. But, I know where I'm giving away a lot of time, so it's going to be good to sort of move on and sort of put some more work in the sim, get more realistic with sim racing, and start driving the car like the car that it is in real life rather than the car that's in the sim. There's a few differences, and there's a few things I need to, get tweaked, so it's more practice for the real thing. One of those things is getting a better computer, getting a bit of a better setup, but that's, something that will come down the line. So that's sort of what's coming up. In terms of coaching, I will be looking at getting some more online programs out, doing some seminars and things this year, but I don't want to commit to loads of stuff and sort of not do the best job possible. So what I want to do is, do sort of less stuff but much higher quality, and sort of giving people the service that they need and that they deserve. If they're paying me to be somewhere or do something, I want it to be the best thing possible. I think that is sort of very brief but concise summing up of what's been going on and what will be coming up. The next video will be a really short one, just a little bit more about some things going on in Wales and my plans there. Then there'll be one talking about that first race, and then who knows, more podcasts, more things like this, Q&As. I might do some YouTube live stuff. There's loads of options for sort of getting more content and more in touch with people without realistically being loads of work for me, which is what I want to avoid. I'm fundamentally kind of lazy. I want to do the least amount of stuff possible, but I want to do it as well as possible. Which is why at some point, looking at editors, looking at studios, stuff like that, I want to be able to do podcasts with the people I really want to talk to, and hopefully look at being in a situation where I can bring them to me, cover expenses, cover costs, things like that, and get more sponsors on board with the channel, or get, start getting money in so that I can put money back into it to make it a better experience for everyone. If there's other content people want to see, if there's more information people want, if there's questions people want answering, if there's things you think is a good idea, you think is a bad idea, just let me know. Let me know in the comments, send me a message on Instagram, or, email me, do whatever you want. But more I'm not sure, more engagement with people is what I want. I want to be putting out what people want to see. And I realise that may not be like a 15-20 minute video of me rambling basically about nothing, but I needed to get a video up and sort of set everything up to get filming. So I will be filming a couple more videos covering a few things, and then that's where we're at. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, share, ring the bell, do whatever YouTube's decided you need to do to help content creators out. And yeah, thank you guys, and I look forward to the next one.